Yau da kullum, Unity.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Monday, 28th of August 2023 and it's equivalent to 12 of Safar 1445 after Hijrah. The headlines. Service in debt with 90% revenue, paths to destruction, says Tinubu. Air Force destroys illegal refining sites in rivers, kills terrorists in Northeast. On Cameroon Dam opening, federal government and states warn flood-prone communities to evacuate to prevent deaths. On the foreign scene, multiple fatalities in Florida shooting, says Jacksonville mayor. And in sports, Masini named new coach of Saudi Arabia. And those were the headlines. And for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that the country could not continue to service its debt with 90% of its revenue. He noted that the country was headed for destruction should that continue. Tinubu spoke during the annual conference of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) on Sunday in Abuja. He said his administration must make difficult changes to better the lots of the country. On remuneration for judicial officers, Tinubu stated that true justice reform must begin with world-class salaries and benefits for legal professionals in Nigeria. The NBA president Yakubu Maikyau San expressed the confidence of the NBA in the ability of President Bola Tinubu to deliver good governance to Nigeria because of his pedigree and past track record of excellent performance in Lagos State, where he was the governor between 1999 to 2007. Despite continuous government efforts to shore up food production in Nigeria through various intervention programs, the country recorded food trade deficit worth 4.92 trillion naira between 2018 and 2022. Available data shows that Nigeria is not growing enough food for the populace, leaving the country with no option but to import. Consequently, to feed its steadily rising population, the country recorded a 121.7% increase in the value of imported foods within the 5-year period, rising to 1.9 trillion naira in 2022 from 857 billion naira in 2015. In 2018, according to data obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) and the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN, the development may not be unconnected with the heightening of insecurity in the country, especially around the agricultural belt, which has forced many farmers to abandon their farmlands, thus prompting the government to spend millions of dollars importing food annually. Some analysts have attributed the increase seen in export to the aggressive non-oil export promotion program of the government rather than increased output, a development which they see as counterproductive to the nation's food security. The release of huge volumes of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon has made states along the path of River Benue in Nigeria brace up for possible flood disasters in their various domains. To prevent deaths and other disasters associated with flood, states that are likely to be affected have asked residents of the flood-prone areas to vacate such communities. According to the National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA), officials, no fewer than 11 states including Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers and Cross River are likely to feel the negative impact of the opening of the dam. The states on Sunday advised such residents to leave the areas to avoid impacts on human lives and valuable assets. It was gathered on Sunday that Cameroon informed the federal government that it will soon open its Lagdo Dam. The director of the African Affairs Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Umar Salisu, said in a letter dated August 21, 2023, that the ministry received a note from the High Commission of Cameroon as regards the opening of the dam. The Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, believes her appointment does not violate the country's law, contrary to claims in several quarters. Hannatu was sworn in minister last Monday, with many Nigerians faulting her appointment since she is a member of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), a mandatory one-year program for Nigerian graduates not more than 30 years. But in a personal statement issued on Sunday, she argued that her appointment is not a contravention of the country's laws. While reiterating her desire to serve the country, she said her participation in the NYSC scheme further buttresses that. The Nigerian Air Force NAF says it has destroyed some illegal refining sites in Rivers State and also killed several terrorists in airstrikes in the northeast region of the country. NAF spokesman Air Commodore Edward Gapquet, who disclosed these in a statement yesterday, said the air components of the Operation Delta Safe (OPDS) carried out the air interdiction missions on some illegal refining sites located at Cochin Channels, Bar and Gokokori in the Gema local government area of Rivers State on Saturday. Gapquet added that similar strikes were also extended to Idama in Akukuturu local government area and Omoma in the Gema local government area of Rivers State upon receipt of intelligence of refining activities at the two locations. He noted that in the northeast, strikes were conducted on Friday at Chinene, a persistent terrorist hideout in the Mandara Mountains, while reiterating its commitment to fighting insecurity in the country. NAF said it will work with other security agencies to do so and called on all Nigerians to see themselves as part of the solution to the challenges through the provision of actionable information to security agencies. Police authorities in Kano State have discovered over 800 cartons of fake and expired drugs in 2 warehouses at Malankatu Market, Kano. A statement from the spokesman of the Kano State Police Command, Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, noted that the discovery followed a report from Good Samaritan. On receipt of the report, the police spokesman said the Commissioner of Police Kano State Command, Muhammad Usainu Gumel, drafted a team of detectives to the scene and discovered the expired drugs. He quoted the police commissioner as thanking those who gave information that helped in the discovery and asked them to keep it up. The Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu has reiterated his commitment to his principal governor, Godwin Obasake. Obasake had recently accused his deputy of plotting a coup against him for that deepening the rift between the Edo and moves for Shuaibu's impeachment. But Shuaibu has downplayed the rift, declining to make public comments about Obasake. Shuaibu, on the sidelines of a Thanksgiving service held in Benin to mark the 32nd anniversary of Edo State, said his ambition to contest for the gubernatorial election in the state is personal and does not affect his loyalty to the governor. Sunday's interdenominational church service took place at the government house in the Edo State capital, with Obasake saying that the state have made giant strides since its creation. In spite of the ethnic and religious diversity of the state, Governor Obasake is calling on residents to work collectively towards making the future better for Edo State. On the foreign scene, a gunman in Jacksonville, Florida was dead following a standoff with police Saturday afternoon after killing a number of people, the latest in a spate of gun violence this weekend in the United States. Disclosing this yesterday, Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan said there were a number of fatalities but did not specify how many. It was gathered that the gunman fired at cars passing by a Dollar General discount store and barricaded himself inside. A local council member told newsmen that the shooter had been killed early in the day. Police said at least 7 people were hospitalized after a mass shooting at the Caribbean Festival in the northeast city of Boston. Meanwhile, 2 gunmen were shot at a baseball game in Chicago the night before, authorities in the Midwestern city said. Mass shootings have become disturbingly common across the United States, with easy access to firearms in most states and more guns in the country than citizens. And in sports, Roberto Mancini was on Sunday named as the new coach of the Saudi Arabian international team on a deal reported to reward more than $25 million a year after he controversially quit the Italy job early this month. The Saudis, who beat eventual champions Argentina at last year's World Cup in Qatar, have been without a coach since Hervé Renard left to take charge of France's women's team. Mancini, 58, led Italy to the Euro 2020 title but failed to qualify for last year's World Cup. Mancini, who has signed a 4-year contract, says he was immensely honored to be offered the position as Saudi Arabia national team manager. Brazil star Neymar was the latest in a growing list of big names to be attracted by the huge sums offered by the Saudis after Cristiano Ronaldo kicked off the trend by moving to Al Nassr in January. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV, respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder Badarsat, which is being watched in about 38 countries of the world free. You can also watch us and stream us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rugayet Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. Do have yourself a lovely day.